Hello everyone, my name is Story Lumpkin. I'm a student at iEducational Institute, and today I'm going to be presenting to you game theory. So what is game theory? Game theory is the process of modeling the strategic interaction between two or more players in a situation containing set rules and outcomes. It's a framework for hypothetical social situations among competing players. Game theory is the science of strategy, or at least the optimal decision-making of independent and competing actors in a strategic setting. The focus of game theory is the game. The key to game theory is that one player's payoff is contingent on the strategy implemented by the other player. The game identifies the player's identities, preferences, and available strategies, and how these strategies affect the outcome. Depending on the model, various other requirements or assumptions may be necessary. Game theory has a wide range of applications, including psychology, evolutionary biology, war, politics, economics, and business. So, types of game theory. There are many types of game theory. There is symmetric/asymmetric, which is a symmetric game is a game where there are identical strategy sets for both players. The payoffs for playing a particular strategy depends only on the other strategies employed, not on who is playing them. Asymmetric games are games where there are not identical strategy sets for both players. There's also simultaneous/sequential, which is a simultaneous game is a game where each player chooses his action without knowledge of the actions chosen by other players. Normal form representations are usually used for simultaneous games. Example, Prisoner Dilemma, which we talk about later in the video. A sequential game is a game where one player chooses his action before the others choose theirs. Importantly, the later players must have some information of the first choice. Otherwise, the difference in time would have no strategic effect. Extensive form representations are usually used for sequential games since they explicitly illustrate the sequential aspects of the game. Out of all of them, cooperative and non-cooperative game theories are the most common. Cooperative game theory deals with how coalitions or cooperative groups interact when only the payoffs are known. It's a game between coalitions of players rather than between individuals, and it questions how groups form and how they allocate the payoff among players. Non-cooperative game theory deals with how rational economic agents deal with each other to achieve their own goals. The most common non-cooperative game is the strategic game, in which only the available strategies and the outcomes that result from a combination of choices are listed. A simple example of a real-world non-cooperative game is rock, paper, scissors. So where is game theory used? The economic application of game theory can be a valuable tool to aid in fundamental analysis of industries, sectors, and any strategic interaction between two or more firms. In business, game theory is beneficial for modeling competing behaviors between economic agents. Businesses often have several strategic choices that affect their ability to realize economic gain. For example, businesses may face dilemmas such as whether to retire existing products or develop new ones, lower prices relative to the competition, or employ new marketing strategies. Economists often use game theory to understand oligopoly, which is a state of limited competition in which a market is shared by a small number of producers or sellers. So use game theory to understand oligopoly firm behavior. It helps to predict likely outcomes when firms engage in certain behaviors, such as price fixing and collusion. So, examples, like I told you, we're going to go over what Prisoner's Dilemma is. And Prisoner's Dilemma is the most well-known example of game theory. So, the scene is two criminals are arrested for a crime. Prosecutors have no hard evidence to convict them. However, to gain a confession, officials remove the prisoners from their solitary cells and question each one in separate chambers. Neither prisoner has the means to communicate with each other. So the officials present 4 deals. Option 1. If both confess, they will each receive a 5-year prison sentence. 2. If prisoner 1 confesses but prisoner 2 does not, prisoner 1 will get 3 years and prisoner 2 will get 9 years. 3. If prisoner 2 confesses but prisoner 1 does not, prisoner 1 will get 10 years and prisoner 2 will get 2 years. 4. If neither confesses, each will serve 2 years in prison. The most favorable strategy is to not confess. However, neither is aware of the other strategy, and without certainty that one will not confess, both will likely confess and receive a 5-year prison sentence. African contribution. David Harold Blackwell. So, David Harold Blackwell was an American statistician and mathematician who made significant contributions to game theory, along with probability theory, information theory, and Bayesian statistics. In 1965, he was named the first African American member of the U.S. National Academy of Sciences. While working in 1948 to 1950 as a consultant at the Rand Corporation, Blackwell pioneered, if you don't know what pioneer means, it means to develop or be the first to use or apply a new method, area of knowledge, or activity. So Blackwell pioneered game theory by analyzing the optimum timing of theoretical armed duelists. His many publications include the classic Theory of Games and Statistical Decisions and Basic Statistics. And Blackwell was elected in 1976 an honorary fellow of the Royal Statistical Society and won the John von Neumann Theory Prize in 1979. So he contributed a lot to game theory. So how can game theory be useful for African people? Well, knowing game theory is useful for African people because we can use it to help in negotiations for our Black businesses and win in our favor. We can also, if we are wrongfully arrested, we can use the prisoner's dilemma game theory to help decide and use the best strategy for our well-being. And we can also use game theory for solving equations, which is always helpful in school subjects. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you understood and I hope you gained from this video and I said that already, but I hope you take something away and share with your friends and family. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.